This video will show you how to prepare to upload in bulk products for your online catalogue. The most important thing is to make sure that you have all your data and your images in the right place and pre-organized before carrying out this procedure. First thing we need to do is to log in, and once you've logged in you'll come to your dashboard, which is where we are now, and the first thing we have to do is upload your images. So the first bit of information about your images is that they need to be, if possible, shaped 800 pixels by 800 pixels, and that they should be optimized by using the opportunity to reduce their file size. So for example, if the images are all JPEGs, save the images with between 50 and 70% reduction in size. That way you will get better load times on your website. Once you have all your images for all your products ready to upload, then you come onto your dashboard, come to Media and Add New. Click Select Files, and wherever you've got them hiding, select all your images, click Open, and allow them to upload. This can also be done by FTP, and if you require FTP instructions rather than using the Upload New Media page within the dashboard of your website, then please let us know. This will take some time, so I'll cut and come back at the end. You'll see that now all the images have loaded. And so the next thing we need to do is upload the two data files, the simple list and then the variable products for this simple list. So we go to WooCommerce CSV Import Suite. And the first thing we're going to do is import the products. Make sure you get the right one because the one underneath is variations. So import products. And then we're going to select the file that we've produced. So I'm now going to bring in the Excel files to show you what we're working on. So these are the two Excel files. This is the simple file, and this is for the variable file, and I've cut it right down so that it only shows two products and with their variations below. The file is laid out differently to the one that you created because there were errors in it. So these two demo files will be available with this video, but I'll just talk you through them. All of these columns that are in here in this simple file are necessary, but as you can see, the regular price can be left blank in the simple file. The first column is the title, and that's just the name of your product. I note that you haven't added in any content, but it is possible to add an extra column with content, which would be the description of the product. Second column is the SKU, or your part number. This is absolutely has to be filled in, and they all have to be unique. Next column is the image name, and I noted when you provided the original file that you'd put the file name as JPEG, and just to note that it should be JPG, not JPEG. I've already mentioned regular price. If it is a variable product, in other words it has variations, then it must have the word variable. If it is just a product without any variations, this should say the word simple. This is the product category, and you did that correctly in your original Excel spreadsheet. So upper level category is Rytool, and this is Impact Tools under Rytool. The next one is the correct way of providing the attribute list for each product. So what this is called is the attribute attribute colon is required, and then the name of the attribute. In this case, it doesn't really matter what it is, but it should really be something sensible. And each product must have in this list here the total list of variations that are going to be found down here. It can have more, but it cannot have less. So for example, 5/16 does appear up there. I'm not sure 7/8. 7/8 is here but doesn't appear here. 7/8 does need to be in here, so I will need to add 7/8. There we go. And this final column should be just copied, attribute underscore data colon, and then whatever you used here, Rytool size in this case, must also be added here, Rytool size. And underneath just 0, 1, 1. And the separator on my keyboard is found by hitting the Shift key and the backslash, and it's the vertical line. So that is product number 1, that's product number 2, and that is the end of the simple product list. We then go on to the variable list, and you'll see that this has got an extra column, parent SKU. So in this case, DL3L is your first product, and so each variation must have reference to the parent SKU. It should then have its own unique SKU for that individual variation of that product. And then I have got the image name here. It's not necessary in your system to have the image name here. I've left it in this Excel spreadsheet just so that I can show you later on what we can and cannot do with the importing of fields. Individual regular prices, weight, length, width, height if you wish to. And then the final column, this is important, it's slightly different to the spreadsheet above. This needs to be meta colon attribute underscore and then the Rytool size from the original simple file. And then in that column, the individual sizes for those individual variations. And as I say, these sizes must exist in this list. The final thing is that it's much easier to work with the spreadsheet in Excel anyway, in the native Excel spreadsheet, but these need to be saved as a comma-separated file. So taking the video demo simple file, I'm going to go File, Save As, change this type to CSV MS-DOS CSV. You'll see that there are other ones, Macintosh, comma delimited, for example. It needs to be the CSV MS-DOS CSV. It will give it a name and click Save. My version of Excel does check that I am happy with the changes I've made. If yours does, then you can just click OK and Yes. Same applies to the variables. That needs to be saved as a CSV. Save As. Change it to CSV MS-DOS CSV. It's got a new name. Save it. Same questions. Yes. We've now finished with Excel. If you recall, we now went back into the administration and we went to WooCommerce CSV Import Suite. Import products. And we're looking for our files. And I'm looking for the CSV files. So I just changed the date modifier, they were the last two, and I'm looking for the simple one. Double click it, click Upload File and Import. Next thing that happens is you're asked to map the fields. And this basically checks that the top line of your Excel CSV spreadsheet fits with what the database expects as the column headers. And you need to go through this carefully. You will find that if you're using a variation of the file I've given you, that it is almost exactly correct. Post title is matched to post title. SKU is matched to SKU. In this case, image name, it says do not import, and that is because our column heading was not correct, but we can tell it the image name is an image gallery. Regular price is regular price, and those four don't have an option, and they've all been selected correctly. And I then click submit. Program uploads in batches of around about 10, so don't be surprised if it pauses at 10, and then it does the thumbnail images. When it's finished, it gives you the cleaning up, finished, import complete. We're now ready to then upload the variations. So click again, WooCommerce CSV import suite. We're now going to import the variations. Select our variations CSV. Upload file and import. Again, we need to go through this carefully, and you get an example of what it's reading on the right-hand side. So the parent SKU is important. The SKU is important. The image. In the simple list, we did choose to import the images. If you choose to do this in the variations, if you had variation images, they can be displayed. So if you had a red box and a green box, you could upload the green one for the variation. But in this case, we're going to choose do not import because that saves the time for having to create the thumbnails. Regular price, weight, length, width, height, and the last one is the custom field attribute. Click submit. Here you can see it in batches of 9 or 10 in fact. Cleaning up, finished, import is complete. We can now go to products. Here are our 2 new products, and we can view one of the products. Once it's loaded, you can just check 9/16.